This is my third episode of my mini series of being a parent advocate. I thought it was time to really share more in depth about Kendon's story, about what he went through the last 2 years. He was in the Sumner County school system. Just to recap what we talked about on the last 2 episodes, I told you that I filled out the form of paperwork to initiate the investigation. I filled it out, turned it into the Tennessee Board of Education. That investigator conducted a 60-day investigation, and that's when I discovered that my son had 173 restraints within 6 months. Documentation of the isolation was not properly documented. They did not call IEP meetings for the isolation and restraint, and videos, recordings of Kendon mysteriously disappeared. So just to show you again, this is the administrative complaint paperwork that I filled out, turned into the Tennessee Department of Education to initiate that 60-day investigation. Once they did the investigation, meaning me and the district, received the findings back of that 60-day investigation. So we're going to talk about the actual enclosure in the classroom that Kendon was placed in. I was at the school for IEP meeting that I called as a parent, as an advocate, because I was concerned about the daily restraints that Kendon was having. During that meeting, an RBT, which is a registered behavior technician, came into the room and said that Kendon is having behaviors, that he urinated on the floor and he had taken off all of his clothing. During that time, those were not concerning behaviors. Yes, they were concerning, but we knew those behaviors were occurring. He had a teacher 2 years prior that wrote a great behavior plan that helped helped redirect him if he were to have those behaviors, and what staff should do immediately if they see those behaviors presenting themselves. So I decided as the parent to go in the classroom. I went in the classroom and I saw my son in that enclosure that you guys see. And the mat that you see on the floor is how the staff prevented him from leaving. They would hold the mat up to the opening. I stood there in shock for a couple of seconds, and in my head I thought my son is in solitary confinement. Came out of shock, took him out, placed his clothes back on. I went back in that meeting and I said, he is a human being. I then instructed the staff to go back into the classroom with me. We walked that entire classroom and I said, this classroom is dreadful. Would you want to be in here every day, isolated, not with your peers?